Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Katie and Joe on the Go.
We are going to walk through the plan for our van. We're going to figure out where we want things, we're going to tape out our layout, and then my favorite part, we're going to build it out with cardboard.
So before we started this process, we've done a lot of research. Basically, before we do anything in this van, we do research. We have gone to Overland Expo in Loveland, Colorado. We've been to like 3 or 4 different van and RV shows. We've gone to van and RV lots. We've gone and visited van builders. We've basically tried to find every layout for the Transit and the Extended Sprinter and the ProMaster to see what features we like and what features we don't like.
And because of that, we've thought through sort of like our non-negotiables, our needs versus our wants, because you have to make sacrifices. There's only so much room in this van. We can't have everything, but we want as much as possible to make this usable for us. So for us, some of our needs would be storage.
Yeah, we have a lot of things. Like on this trip, we have a lot of camera equipment, a lot of computers and drones and gimbals and stuff like that, because this is going to be, this is our home on wheels for the foreseeable future, and that's how we make a living through our
photography, video content creation. So we need to have storage solutions for all of that equipment, but also you do motorcycle stuff.
Right, I do motorcycle stuff. So I'll be bringing one of my motorcycles, my KTM, with us. That unfortunately will not be going in the van because if the KTM came inside, Katie would have to sleep outside, and there'd only be space for me inside with the bike cuddling. Nice and
we did
cozy.
research how we could fit it in, and it just didn't work.
But no, it did work. We're figuring it out. It's not going to sit in here full time, but if we ever want to ship the van to Europe, hint in season 2, we will be able to bring the motorcycle in. But
that's a conversation.
That's a different conversation. Rambling. But with motorcycle comes helmet and boots and gear and jacket and protective stuff and all of that stuff, and that's 2 large totes. So I think the first second, so storage.
So that's a need, storage. And we'll go into where that looks when we actually start taping stuff out.
Yeah.
But the second one, you mentioned it, we're living full time. This is going to be our office as well as our home. So we need a workspace.
Live, laugh, transit love.
So another need, sort of non-negotiable, is a workspace, a dedicated place where you can sit with your computer, with a mouse.
I have carpal tunnel because I spend 80 hours a week on a computer for work, and my right wrist is all messed up. So I have to use a vertical mouse and one of them weird old split keyboards. So that means I need a dedicated working space, at least a table that I could use.
Yeah. The next one is it needs to feel like a home. So we know that a lot of
it's got to say live, laugh, love here. It's got to say live, laugh, love here. It says bless this house, but it's going to say bless this van, trademark, copyright.
That's probably already trademarked and copyrighted, but it has to feel like a home, which means our design choices, the elements that we're going to have in here are going to cater towards looking more like a home feel than just a quick conversion.
Right. It's not going to be a bunch of 80-20 with bags hung up on hooks. It's going to be wood, it's going to be warm, it's going to be cozy, it's going to be inviting. I think that's probably the biggest kind of like description. We want this van to feel, we want to be happy when we're sitting here editing photos or whatever we're doing.
Then the next one, it's kind of a non-negotiable after many hours of discussion, is we're going to have a wet bath. We're going to have a shower and we're going to have a toilet. Again, this will be our full-time living space, our home.
Right.
And as we're going to boondock, we're going to be in various places, not always at a campground where there's a shower, or near a gym where we could shower.
Plus, I really enjoy coffee, and with that comes the toilet.
And you're lactose intolerant.
And I'm lactose intolerant.
I love ice cream.
And I love ice cream. I love pizza. I love spicy Indian food. And, I just have to deal with my stomach issues. So, toilet, non-negotiable.
And in a private bathroom instead of like... I love you, but I don't want to watch you take a poop.
like the weird swim, like that's weird. That doesn't work for 2 people. 2 people who want to stay together, it doesn't work. But when we talk about the wet bath and shower, all that, we also want this van to be a 4-season vehicle because we like to ski.
We're in Colorado.
We're in Colorado, right? It gets cold here. Where we're planning on going, it's going to get cold. We don't want to have any water tanks underneath the van, so everything is going to fit in this shell. So
again, that goes back to our storage solutions and how we're going to play a little bit of Tetris to make sure that everything fits, because we're going to have water inside. We're also going to have a very large battery system.
Yep.
Because we need to power all of our things.
Battleborn.
So those were kind of our needs, wants, the non-negotiables. Now let's get into our layout, what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Get some tape.
Yeah, so it's going to get tape. Where's it at?
It's outside.
I'm going to go get the tape. I've acquired tape. Okay.
All right, we're going to tape the layout. Let's work our way back. So start with the reverse. Here, I'm going to put this on. We don't have a measuring tape. We're just sort of eyeballing. We have a general feel in terms of size of the bed. We've measured things previously. We have a measurement video.
Yeah, we've measured things. I think first things that you have to see from the inside, as we talked about, is that we have a dually transit, so we don't have as the same amount of space between the wheel wells, so we do have to take that into consideration. But I think for the most part, we're pretty decided that the battery system will be coming on the right-hand side.
I'm going to pause you. We're going to start, we're going to have the bed in the back, and it's going to be a bed. We're not going to have a conversion section because it goes back to our need of storage.
Right.
We figure it works better just to have the bed.
Yeah, storage and just the fact that it feels more homely, not having to make your bed every single night.
And store the
yeah.
sheets and the comforter.
You
and
lose so much space. Like we love the idea of having an actual garage space, you know, putting a flat bed here and having all of this space.
Fighting the GoPro.
GoPros are fighting us.
So yeah. So now that we've gone over that we're gonna have a bed permanent structure in the back, walk through where I think we're gonna do our
Yeah. So water or electric will be here. Probably be right about there, a few inches past the door. Probably gonna be about 18 or so inches.
We're just ballparking the size just to give us a general idea of where things will exist.
Probably gonna go about
I bet it goes all the way to the wheel.
Yeah, basically here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did some measurements for the approximation of how long the mattress would be for it's called an RV queen or something. It's bigger than a full. And the mattress would come to about half of the wheel well. So we'll have a little bit of play here as well, but the batteries themselves in the system should sit right there.
Yes.
And then on the opposite side.
From here to there. Basically going to mimic it, right? We're going to have a large water tank. This is where our electric water heater will go. It's real easy to measure that out. Right about there. Song. Sing song.
And for a while we were thinking that we would put the cool water tanks that go over the wheel, but it seems a bit impractical at this point in terms of the storage. We have the room in the back because we have the extended transit, so we might as well have it sit there and we can utilize the stuff over the wheel with other things like maybe laundry or trash. We'll figure that out. But for the most part, that will be water, that will be electric, and everything in the middle will be our garage storage. So the motorcycle stuff, anything else we have, we'll probably have a tent with us, just the miscellaneous items. Exist in there.
Tent, chair, ladder,
Everything.
garage stuff.
Yeah, garage stuff. And then the bed will come up.
You want to mark it?
We spent so long trying to figure out this bed because I want, for me personally, enough room to sit up in bed so that I can work on my laptop. Joey works at a desk. I am more like crisscross applesauce on the floor or sitting in bed and doing work. So in terms of our height, I don't know what the inches we figured out, but it will be enough to where I can sit up in bed and do my stuff.
That's true.
And then above, because I want to be able to work in the bed and lean my head up, I think we'll only have upper cabinets on one side.
Right. And it's going to be a single strand of cabinets on one side from here all the way to the door opening.
Yeah.
So we might as well just tape that out.
And because this side, so our heads would be here and we can sit up. On this side, we'll probably do some pretty deep cabinetry. Again, storage solutions. And then our feet will be able to fit in. So neither one of us are particularly super tall, which is great because we have enough room here to lay down.
Right. So I'm 5'10", Katie's 5'6".
6'7" on a good day.
So buying the tallest van that we could is great because like there's a lot of space, a lot of room for activities.
Okay, so now that we've pretty much figured out the back, if we move in, let's do the passenger side.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be the kitchen.
So we're basically going to extend. We figured out that like the bed's going to be 40-ish inches. We'll come back with a better measurement. So the countertop for the kitchen.
The countertop is not going to be that same height. Well, it'll drop down.
Right, it'll drop down to about 36 or so inches.
Yeah.
Which is like 4 inches below. And it's going to go all the way here. And then we're going to keep going. So I'm going to have to stand here for the rest of the video to hold the tape for measurement.
Yep,
because it's going to go halfway into the door entry. We saw that this was pretty common. And what our favorite thing about this was it gives a outdoor working space. So we're going to have like a flap that folds down. So like I could be standing with my mouse and all that.
You could work out there.
We could do anything out there.
Because we'll have a
We can play
table.
puzzles. We can do Legos. Just activities.
Okay. So, and if you saw the floor, the subfloor build, we built that out from the stepwell, and we have that framed here. Now, the depth of the cabinets, what's really nice is while we were talking about van life, we convinced Joey's mom to buy a van.
Yeah, she hated the idea. So, okay, this is a great side story. For like 2 years, I've been talking about like, oh, I'm gonna like quit my corporate job, which is like, it was a high-paying corporate job. It was wonderful, and I enjoyed it. I got to do exactly what I wanted to do for 10 plus years, and I was like, I'm gonna quit it, and I'm gonna convert a van and travel around the U.S. My mom was like, you're an idiot if you do that. You're not moving back to Colorado. You're not living with me. You're not doing any of this stuff. And about 8 months ago, she bought her own van, and she's gone on like 7 or 8 trips with her dog and her cat, and it's the cutest thing ever. So, more van lifers.
Insert some photos of Mama B's RV out in the wild.
That's true.
But there was a point to that. When she bought her van, it allowed us to do a lot of measurements on her stuff. She has a wonderful layout that works for her and the dog and the cat. The layout is not super practical for us because of our needs, but we could measure the height of her cabinets, the height of her countertops, and all of those different things, which is some numbers that we're going to be pulling when we actually build the cardboard part of this layout. So thanks, Mom B, for buying a van.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. It's been great.
So this whole strip from the bed to partially through where the passenger side door opens is basically going to be a long countertop. We're going to do induction cooking, but we're not going to build it in. It's just going to be its own takeout, put back, so that we have this space for prep space, workspace if you wanted to. Just a lot of nice
Storage. Or
well,
just
storage underneath.
right, but like place to put things while we're working. A gimbal, setting it up with a camera, whatever it may be.
And then where you're standing is going to be where we're going to have like our sink, which is also kind of a multi-purpose. We're hoping to be able to do a sink faucet that can turn into like an outdoor, not full shower, but a way to like hose off some stuff in the front if we need to, if we're dusty and all that jazz. So that's why the sink will exist here as opposed to further back or closer to the water tank.
That's true.
And
the fridge will also be on this side, probably between the wheel well and the door frame.
Yeah, like right here, and then sink and stuff here.
Yes.
What do you think are we going to do?
Oh,
first
here I think we're going to do just like a really long bookshelf. Yeah, we like books. Books are good. Books are probably one of the better things that have ever been invented. But this is like a real interesting space because we don't want to put a cabinet here because they're going to smack our head. I have to kind of duck if I want to do it, so we don't want to build out. So the idea is that it's going to be a very simple build to cover, and we're going to have like basically like 2 bungee cords or 2 pieces of small metal rebar or something like that we'll be able to slot books into and fold out this way, just so we have.
Yeah, so maybe just like a couple inches deep. This little storage pouch. Again, utilizing the space as we can. So the cabinets above the like kitchen prep space will be a little bit shorter than the ones in the back, just so we have like line of sight and can actually do our work with food prep and all that. But that's basically that side of the thing.
On this side, we're basically going to have nothing, but there will be a place here that's going to hold a table. And when we're talking about this, so this is going to be a piece of wood that flaps out this way for more counter space, and then we're gonna have the piece of wood that flips out this way for more counter space outside.
Yeah, because both of these, like we've said previously, are factory swivel seats, and we're gonna utilize that again. As many different opportunities to work and sit and have just some variety, I think will help us when full time in a van.
Yeah.
Just be able to mix it up. Yeah, so that's that. Here, I think our plan is still to install some extra shelving because the factory shelf is basically useless.
Yeah.
It'll hold some sunglasses, but even that, when he hit the brakes one time, the stuff that was on there flew and hit me in the face. Nice.
That's good.
All right, so we're gonna make our way back towards the back, and now we're gonna do the driver's side, working back. So the dually has proved to be a bit of a pain in the butt.
No. Why?
Because it sticks out so much.
It does stick out a bit.
It sticks out a lot, and this space is tighter, but it's also...
It's going to be harder to build on top of it.
Yeah, so in other builds during our research, people have put a toilet next to the wheel well in this whole like shower system, butted up right next to the bed. But because it's a dually and it sticks out so much, if we were to put a toilet here, we would have like no room to get into the bed.
Yeah.
And that would just feel like really claustrophobic.
Right.
And it's a little frustrating because if we did that, we would have this massive space on the front end where we could sit, we could have a different table situation. But the dually has limited us, and it's something that I was a little bit surprised and then disappointed because we kind of thought through a layout previously, and then we saw it, we were like, oh, that's not actually going to work. But we have a solution.
I didn't know she was so anti-dually.
No, I think
I like the wheels, and it's better for weight distribution. It's better if I ever want to tow a trailer with a race car. Like there's a lot of reasons why we chose the dually.
There's positives, and it's absolutely what we needed to be safe. And
I think we need to have an off-camera conversation.
no, it's what we needed. It's just that it takes away some interior space, and it had to shift how our layout was going to be, and it made me sad.
So, what we're going to put in here is a lion and a witch because we're building a wardrobe. Hooray, books. That was good. That was good. Okay, so basically the bed is going to come halfway into this wheel well, which I feel like we should not where that went.
Yeah,
Is it really that far?
It may not be the full half. It may be more like right here.
Okay.
It did go over the wheel.
Yeah, it did go over the wheel. So I want to take this piece off because that's a lie. Postman just came a little close, a little hot.
So I would mark it at the middle. Just again, these measurements we're eyeballing it.
We're eyeballing.
When we actually do the cardboard, we're gonna do it to its actual measurements. Good?
No, never good. All right, so this is basically going to be the bed. We'll mark that off there. It's gonna go all the way across. All the way across. We're almost out of tape. We're out of it.
There's another roll.
Good. That one's thick. It's a thick boy.
We could probably leave it there.
Oh. Doing this. We're doing it one way. I feel like a lot of good ribs here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically straightish.
Ish.
Ish.
Close.
I tried.
You did good. Alright, so he's right. We're going to put some storage, which would be, I think we talked about having sort of like a charging station, like cabinetry floor to ceiling, where we can put our cameras, put all of our chargers. Basically, that wardrobe is going to allow us to get beyond the rest of the wheel before we can start the bathroom. So if you want to go up from the wheel up.
Okay.
That is
Dude! Wait, I think it's got to be thicker than that. There's no way two Pelican cases are
not
going to
next
fit
to each
there.
other.
Where are we going to put them?
One will go in storage and one will sit here.
No, because we want everything in one place so we can lock them.
Let's start with this.
Okay, well I don't like this. Cameras. and there. Or that way. And then batteries up here. Charge station.
Well, and originally I was thinking that the Pelicans would sit on top of each other.
That's fine.
Like one here and one here.
Yeah.
And then
I thought they were
up
going to be
here.
side next to each other like briefcase.
Well, we will pull out the our
Hard cases, Nano hard case.
Nano card cases to see how they fit. But the general idea is bed, wardrobe, storage shelves. Then moving forward, our wet bath.
No, okay, so some vans are easier to put a wet bath in because they don't have the ribs that come into the floor space. Because we're pushed to move the wet bath forward because of the dually, we have a rib that we have to contend with. So it makes this a little more difficult. So
Yay, transit. We love the transit. But again, there's just little quirks to it that are some of the best builds we saw were in different vans. But we'd already ordered the transit. The transit is what we got. So we have been shifting how we see it.
Well, we like the transit because it's all-wheel drive, it's a dually, and it's got a real powerful engine.
And it drives the best. We've
Yeah.
driven
We've driven them all.
them all, and this one is the best.
We drove
So-
the super long extended Sprinter. We drove the
ProMaster.
long ProMaster. We drove a short ProMaster.
Yeah,
And
this
this was the only transit we drove, and it's spectacular.
it drives like a car. Well, I haven't driven it yet, but I've been a passenger.
Well, you drove it a few feet to move it out of the garage.
That's true, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so wet bath. We are doing a toilet.
And it's got to have PPP, prime pooping position.
So in terms of how far it's going to stick out, again, I got to look up how big that toilet is, but it's going to come out a bit of a ways. And then the goal is to have just enough space to have your feet without like being on the toilet to shower. It's going to be tight, but again, I'll sacrifice a little bit of comfort in a shower to have a bit more.
Yeah, I want more toilet space than shower space. I don't really like to shower nowadays anyway, so like this is for Katie.
You're not gross. You shower. It's so weird. Okay, so moving back, we'll have bed, wardrobe, shower, and then the last space, the remaining space. Oh, all the way up. I think that's a bit bigger than.
I think it's a bit bigger, but I think we got.
We're visualizing.
I think we gotta measure it.
Yeah. Alright, that's the shower. Floor to ceiling, obviously.
We did look at conversion showers, and it basically always came back to, I don't want to have to watch Katie poop. That's basically it. We don't want to do that. We like each other, but like, yeah, the van life's gonna change a lot of things, and I just, we think that's gonna be best for our relationship if we have a little privacy.
And also, like something with the conversion is you're then always moving and having to do sort of with the bed. The bed can just be a bed. This can just be a bathroom, and we don't have to fight with it all the time. Because if it's a conversion and then we have something sitting on it, then we have to move stuff, and then it's just a constant shuffle. I feel like having a place for everything.
And everything in its place.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a quote.
You want to put it on the wall.
Yeah.
All of the leftover space is going to be a bench, essentially. Any extra inches, square footage, whatever, is going to be a bench. That would allow the front swivel to turn, and again, more like seating areas, storage underneath, and then we are going to put in a window.
Huzzah!
Do you know, Mark?
Yeah, so okay, we're gonna do a bench. We have to figure out how tall we want the back and all of that, but roughly we want a good back support. Because there's nothing worse than sitting in a chair that doesn't have back support, and then you end up using your abs, and like no one wants to use their abs because that's terrible.
I think we're just gonna make it to the most comfortable height for both of us.
Yeah.
Because again, living in it full time, we want to have those comforts, so we're just gonna do it right the first time.
Doing it right. Daft Punk, don't give me a strike. Just kidding.
What we talked about, and when we were first kind of doing the layout, is we were hoping that because this was the extended length transit, that we would have room for this bench area to convert to another bed, just like a single place where if someone came and visited us on our journeys, they would have somewhere to sleep that's not a tent outside.
It's true.
But because of the whole bathroom situation, dually, extra storage that we needed, we just don't have the room for it, which is again something that I got a little bit sad about because we saw some really great designs and had some really cool like conversion things. Okay.
Yeah, it's real sharp. Yeah, watch that. Wow.
There were just some really great designs that had that and that worked, but again, live and learn.
Well, Katie needs a shower, so then we don't get to have friends. That's basically it. Because if we didn't have a shower, this entire thing could be a bed big enough for all my friends and my nephews and nieces. I don't have any nieces. My nephews and godsons and all of that.
But I think it goes back to the non-negotiables. We're living in it full time. If this was just like a weekend warrior type thing, we could stay at a campsite and use those facilities, but like we have to have it.
That's true.
And the bathroom can't go here, or else we would be like scooting through the kitchen to get into the bed.
That's true. Scoot, scoot.
So yeah, that's
Above,
basically the gist.
well, okay. Above the bench where the X is, that means we're gonna cut. We're gonna put a window right here. And I wanted to do a giant window that matches that side. And now that I see where the shower actually goes to, I might get like a little like porthole one, like the one that goes in the submarine. And then on top of that, we're going to have a little more shelf storage on top, a little more uppers. So we have, yeah.
At some, we don't know where yet, because again, this is like very early stages. That storage may be our electrical and like our switches and knobbies and stuff may exist on this wall. Still thinking through that, but it's gotta go somewhere.
That's got to go somewhere.
That's basically everything from here up. Now let's talk about the roof. What two things do we...
Oh yeah, roof. So we have two things that we got to cut holes for. Katie and I don't sleep well when it's warm. Like, we just don't sleep at all. So the idea is we're basically going to have such a big batteries pack that we're going to be able to run our Dometic RTX 2000, which is sitting in the garage and we can't wait to install it. We're going to put that directly above the bed, and it's basically going to go right here. So I'm just going to like drop that. It's going to be like bam, and we're going to know that means fan,
Yeah,
or that
so
means
the air
AC.
And then we bought a MaxAir fan.
Yep, a MaxAir 7500 fan.
Which one?
It was this one. So MaxAir fan is going to go right here. It'll be supported by the DIY van framing kit. That's going to secure here and give it support from the underside. So fan here, because this is where our induction oven or our kitchen is going to be, and this is where the bath is going to be. So it's going to suck up everything.
All the moisture. We want to avoid like cooking, smoke and stuff, and then just like humidity and stuff that's coming out of the shower when we do shower. We can run the fan, and then it also utilizes the workspace to cool that off. So two things are going into the ceiling, and then that's basically.
We're gonna have a Robusto heater underneath the passenger seat. That just seems to be where people put them.
Yeah, it's empty.
It's empty.
So as we've mentioned a few times of our needs for electrical, because this is going to be our office and our home, and we have a lot of camera equipment because that's our jobs, we're putting in a pretty robust electrical system. And then the thought in terms of where we're gonna run wires to put outlets would be that we'll have one next to the bed. We ideally don't want like our electronics in the bed at night or anything like that, but if I'm sitting on the bed doing work on my computer, I'll need a place to charge the computer, so we'd put an outlet on the wall.
Wait, where's your sticky notes?
Oh, shit. Oh, sticky note. What color do we want power to be?
Yellow.
Neon yellow.
That's green.
That's yellow.
That's green.
Well, it's gonna be green then.
Okay, well, electricity is yellow.
That's neon yellow.
That's green.
Okay, so electricity is a lightning bolt
That makes sense.
because Harry Potter. So we would have.
You know, it's not actually lightning bolt, but it's actually the wand pattern for Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra.
Okay, so we would have an outlet on this wall facing the bed so we could charge things. Obviously, that's what an outlet does. Inside the kitchen, shut up. Inside the cabinet, we want to have a full charging station. So where we can put our camera chargers, the drone charger, basically everything except probably the laptop chargers, because we'll charge the laptops at the other seating areas. So I think because of the, oh, that's a terrible light bulb. Because of the robustness of our camera kit, we'll probably put 2 outlets in the cabinet. And that will be our charge board there. And then if we fly over to this side of the van,
Woo!
I don't think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that we're really going to have any outlets in these cabinets.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're not electricians, so we don't want to go too crazy. But we will have one on this wall because we're going to do the induction cooktop, and I think
We'd probably have
we're doing
2.
a plug-in induction cooktop.
Yeah.
So because this is our kitchen prep space, maybe 2 separated like that.
Yeah.
That means on the wall. So 2 on that wall, and that's probably the gist of it. We won't run anything to that seating area. And then the shower, no plugs in there because, and then here, because this is the primary working space, the actual like desk area, we at least need one because you'll have to charge your computer. Do you think one would be enough? I can't envision. Because
Yeah.
it would have 2 outlets, so like your computer
Right.
and my computer could go,
Right.
or your computer and your monitor would. We might have a monitor, who knows? But that is charged through your camera.
Computer monitor, not a monitor lizard. Different things.
We also want one here
Wait, where?
on the by the sink on the outside.
Okay, so this one's interesting. So because we hope to utilize that outside space as like another working station and potentially a cooking station, it would go here on the outside so that we can run any type of cables in there. So basically, it looks like we'll have 1, 2, 3.
Garage space.
Ooh, 4, 5. So we're at 6, and thanks for remembering that. In the garage, I don't know what side, probably on the side of the batteries, so we run less cable. We'll have an outlet. That way we could run basically anything. Shop
Anything
vac,
out here,
like,
yep.
Yeah, just better to have it so we can use it if we need to. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 outlets. All these little lightning bolts and sticky notes is just for our AC, like physical outlets. We're running DC power to the refrigerator, which we haven't ordered yet. We're still deciding on which one we want. Our water heater, the fans, all of that, that's going to be wired into our electrical system. So these are just the AC outlets that we'll utilize as like a normal house would, where you'd plug in all of your stuff. Now that we've taped everything out and have a general idea of where things are going to go, we are going to pull out our measurements that we've taken from other vans in terms of like heights and depths of different cabinetry, and we are going to build this all out in cardboard. My favorite thing, arts and crafts.
It's a giant arts and crafts project. That's how I convinced Katie to do this van. I told her it's like going to like Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's, but instead it's Home Depot, and we build out a van.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Okay, so we're gonna build it. Let's go. So for the cardboard, we're doing some like generic measurements, and they are from Mama B's van. So again, shout out to Mama B, thank you. We took measurements of her countertop height and her upper and lower cabinetry, and for this cardboard build, we're gonna go off of that, and then also probably go in and measure our hard cases and some other equipment pieces that we know will need to fit into the various storage things. So we're gonna get going on the cardboard. Hey. Fun fact of the day. You can get cardboard at Costco and it doesn't cost you anything except obviously a Costco membership. But we've been doing that in Michigan when we did the floor template, and then this is our collection here that we're gonna use to do our cardboard mock-up of our van design. So we've mocked up our whole layout in cardboard. This is our kitchen. We'll put our sink here. This will be closed off, obviously. This is our bench seat. Underneath that, we're going to have half storage, half of our recirculating shower. Upper cabinet, storage again. This is the shower. It's taped closed. But shower, toilet will be inside. Our cabinet that's going to hold all of our electronics. The bed, obviously, and our uppers that go all the way to the back. Yay! Let's go to the garage.
Now, just like every house, the van needs a man cave, and this is where the man cave's gonna be. We're gonna have the big 60-inch TV on this wall. We're gonna have a leather couch. Oh, we're not?
No.
Oh. I've been bamboozled. Our electrical system's gonna go here. Probably take up the majority of the space because we have 2 game changer batteries that are much larger than traditional lithium, 100 watts. And then on this side will be the water tank, probably a 20 to 25 gallon tank, all of our hot water heater and filters, UV lights, all of that there. And then all of this is, and we measured this, we have these black plastic totes that we basically live our life out of. We basically get at least 4 here, which is good for my motorcycle gear and motorcycle helmets and boots and all that. And then camping stuff, so our sleeping bag and tent, backpack, and then, I don't know, random stuff.
So much room.
So much room for activities, except for my man cave.
And that's the bed.
That's the bed. All right, so we just finished a very important piece of our build series. We wanted to mock this up in cardboard to really get an understanding of the space, because like we said at the very beginning of the video, 30 plus minutes ago, you know, you can only get so much understanding with a 2D mock-up. The 3D really makes you understand, you know, the width of the aisle or the seats or all of that stuff. So this is done. We're gonna take it completely out once we make some good measurements and make some of them talk ticks, good transitions, things like that. But up next, we've got Dometic's RTX 2000 air conditioner to install. We've got a MaxAir 7500 fan to install. We've got some windows to cut out. We got some walls to build. We got electrical systems to install. We got water systems to install. We got reciprocating. We basically have an entire van to build. We've done nothing.
What do you know?
What do you know? You know, crazy enough, the cardboard isn't going to be strong enough to keep up like that. To hold us.
But yeah, thanks for watching, and stick around because we've got a lot coming down the pipe.
Like and subscribe. We're gonna jump in the van and we're gonna get started. So.
Close.
Dude, that was good. That was good. Did you do that?
No, I couldn't.
Also, side note, warm applesauce with a little bit of cinnamon's real good. You said crisscross applesauce. Wait, I'm out of tape. BRB. Tape run. Wait, where'd I put the tape?
Oh. Oh! You're gonna like this.
Oh, it's good.
I forgot it was on my arm.
Tape.
Alright, yeah, let's move the camera in. Let's do some B-roll. Round. You do it.
Like and subscribe.